Hello YouTube, Caravan Cubs here, Oliver here, and we're going to be comparing new-ish to old, which is my 1970 Alpine Sprite, my 2006 Sterling Eureka. Now, although this isn't brand new, all the features on this are pretty much the same as what you'd get in a brand new Caravan. The only difference is the veneers will be slightly different colour. So we're going to start on the 1970 Alpine Sprite. First thing to note, obviously the grab handles on these are metal and you can actually use them, whereas on the newer stuff they're plastic, and I wouldn't recommend using them because they do get brittle. Even on the brand new Caravans, these aren't really designed for manhandling the Caravan. Always do it from the toe up. Next thing you'll notice is the door, and you know, it's all metal sort of fixings, but again similar design. This is all plastic on the new ones, whereas on here it's metal, and the hook in here gives it a really nice sound, and again it's metal and really quite durable. I do find sometimes these break on some of the newer Caravans. So the layout on this 1970 Alpine Sprite is really intelligent. Now, although this has been restored, it's actually the original sort of layout, so just ignore what it sort of looks like, but it is the original layout. So here there would have been a bunk bed with a stretcher here, which converts into a bunk bed. You've got your bathroom here, which I think is a really intelligent design, because what they would have had is a curtain along here which goes around there, or the door would come out here, and then you'd have a flap here to extend the kitchen or create a solid boundary. So no space is wasted in these 1970s Caravans. Every single bit of the space is usable. This is what the original scheme was in here, and I would have kept it all original, but it is all completely sort of breaking. Now I think that's actually quite cool, but unfortunately this Caravan was fit for the tip at the time. And you can see the seating area down here is really quite nice and roomy, definitely roomy enough for a family of 4. We actually took a family of 5 in here, and this bed is really comfortable. Now, another thing you'll notice is there actually isn't too much storage. On the original you would have had a storage unit here, a kitchen area here which is the same size, but you would have had an oven and a sink and a foot operated pump to operate the sink. On the new ones, obviously that's all done by 12 volt. And then the only additional storage you have is these storage bits here. And you would have had a storage area underneath the bed there, a wardrobe, and then a sort of bedside cabinet here. We've converted that into an L shape for the children. So the windows, which can be a bit of a pain because they're glass, so they can smash quite easily, but I'll show you on the new one, it slims down the Caravan massively. This Caravan's really nice and slim and really easy to manoeuvre into tight spaces. So as you can see, the windows on this are plastic, and they come out quite a bit. Now, it may not seem like that's too much of a big deal, but I know loads of people at the local storage site actually hit their windows on the site. Now, the gates are quite slim, but also you'll notice that the shore width of this thing, it's a lot wider, and it's a lot longer, and realistically it's only got one extra berth. Looking at the tow hook though, yeah, really easy to use these. All you do, and I'll pan over to some footage of using it now, is you just use the jock wheel, lower it down. As it lowers down onto the hitch, that just clips down and that clips down, so you can actually do it one-handed, whereas on the older stuff you need 2 hands, because you've got to lift that up, and you've got to activate the jock wheel at the same time as that goes down. The other thing which is annoying about these is when you're reversing, you have to deactivate the brake. So if you're driving on your own, which I normally am, I normally have to jump out, put my back on here, press back on the lever, and then get back in before I reverse. Anyway, let's get to the new one. So a lot more spacious in this one. Obviously this Caravan is a lot longer and a lot heavier. To put that in perspective, the Alpine Sprite is 750 kilos fully loaded, and this is 1.5 tons fully loaded. This is also a lot longer, right, and a lot wider. But the good thing about these sort of newer ones is you've got loads of storage everywhere. If you look all the way around there, it's all storage, and all the lockers open and close like that, so they're really nice. This technology here hasn't changed. This is exactly the same as what you would have got on the original Alpine Sprite. The heating system there on this, it can be electrical, gas, 230 volt or gas. On the original ones, if they paid the additional, I think it was £5 back in the 70s, they would have got a heater, and it would just be gas only. Another thing to note is this has a fridge, a three-way fridge, which is gas, 12 volt to 40 volt. On the Alpine Sprite, that was an optional extra, and that was only 12 volt or gas, I believe. Moving on to the bathroom. Right, as you'll notice on these, is it's got a shower area, a shower tray, and this turns into a shower, which is quite smart. The thing is though, is this, if you look at it, actually takes up quite a lot of space of the Caravan, and this is actually quite a small bathroom, whereas the Alpine Sprite uses half the amount of space, and it's just a bit better in my opinion. These also come with a load of overhead skylights with blinds, fly net, and all the windows again, blinds and fly nets. I've done that in the wrong order. These are really easy, just open them up like that and that's it. Whereas on the Alpine Sprite, you've got to undo a couple of wing nuts, and it is a bit annoying, and it's only ever so small, but it's still pretty cool. It's got one. The other thing is the seating area here. It's a bit annoying because this actually space here is a bit wasted. Whereas on the Alpine Sprite, the table is all usable space, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's a more intelligent design. This obviously opens up, which is quite nice, and then we've got another additional table which then clips on and goes that way, so that's a nice design. We've also got the drawers here, which you'd get on most caravans, and you've got some usable space under there. The bed on this pulls out on slats. Again, a lot of these caravans, I find these slats are a nightmare, whereas on this particular caravan they actually just pull out and they're quite nice. But on the Alpine Sprite, as I'll show you in a second, it's actually quite easy to make and unmake the bed. The Alpine Sprite is actually quicker because the cushions haven't got these dips here, meaning that every time you make the bed you have to swap them over, and it does take a bit of extra time. Whereas on that one, it's not too bad, and they were just box square cushions. So my personal verdict, I prefer that one. It's easier to tow, it's more intelligent spacing. What's this one good for? This is perfect for going on a normal site, whereas that, a lot of the sites were more off-grid sites back in the 70s, so it doesn't rely heavily on power, which is quite nice. What are we going to do with a family of 6? We're obviously going to keep this because we've got the bunk beds and use this for sites, and we're going to get a Glorn in for that for when we go off-grid sort of camping, and we'll camp there. But thanks very much for watching. If you want to give us a like and a subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. We're a family of 6, and we are going to be doing lots of budget-friendly caravanning tips. So we'll see you on the next one.